What's up, YouTube? I hope you all are well. This video will be a little bit different from what I usually do or what I've been doing on my channel in the previous times. And this is not a switch because, as far as I'm concerned, I don't really like to talk about technical analysis with YouTube and whatever, because I believe that you have the right to find your own way of how you want to trade, and it's best for you to look for informations and take the best approach possible when it comes to your technical analysis. However, I just thought to share with you guys something that I've been using for the past 1 year now, focusing majorly on GBP USD. So I've been trading GBP USD alone for the past 1 year, and there has been quite a lot of lessons that I've learned from it. There have been different type of approach that I've tried to approach the market in terms of how I trade, and I've made use of different ways. But what I have found that has made the difference for me is just understanding clear market structure, and sort of like top-down analysis from the higher time frame, which could be the weekly time frame, the monthly time frame, daily time frame, down to your entry time frame. Usually my entry time frame is on the 15 minutes and the 1 hour time frame. So what I just want to quickly talk about is going to be quite short of a video, because I don't want to bore you guys with it. So what market structure is looking at is marking out major structure levels where market has reacted a lot of times, like multiple number of times, from the weekly time frame down to, say, the 1 hour time frame. So these reaction points, they can act as either support or resistance. What is important for us is to want to pay attention to those levels and look at what price is doing at every of those levels, so that we can take advantage of price behavior at those levels. So however, you also need to understand the principle of a trend movement, which is if market is creating higher highs and higher lows, as well as if market is creating lower highs and lower lows, for the situation of either an uptrend or a downtrend. So I'll make use of the rectangle tool on TradingView, and I'm just going to mark out some levels. Nothing too complicated, because if you complicate your system too much, it's going to add to your headache that you will have in trading. So my system is very simple. I just mark out levels based on what I'm seeing. So currently I can see that this is a multi-year level. Why do I call this a multi-year level? This was in 2016. We can see that there was a reaction off of it. This was in 2019. There was a reaction. This was in 2020. It did a first breakout and then turned all the way back up. This was in 2022, broke below, even went much more lower. Then when it came back up to that same level, we saw that the level turned to support, right? So we saw again 2023 turn to support. 2025 as well, in January, it was also a support level. So this is on the weekly time frame. If we look at the high end of things as well, we can see that this is also a structure level at the top here. So I wouldn't say there is a fixed way for you to mark out these levels. What you just need to do or pay attention is to make sure that it's comprises of different, like, enough levels where you can clearly see that market is reacting off of all of those levels. So I'm just going to mark those two. I don't want to go. We can also see that this is a level. So one of the things you can see sometimes is for people that are looking at the weekly time frame, they can say GBP USD ranges for some time, but then this is like several years. We are talking maybe 10 years plus. You can't really say it's ranging, right? Because if you go to the lower time frames, you can see opportunities to take from those areas. So if you go to the daily time frame as well, you can see that the weekly time frame is already something of interest, and we see how market reacted from that level. On the daily time frame, what are we looking at? We are looking at structure levels where market has reacted from, and we can see this level right here. You can see that when it was below, acted as resistance, then here above resistance as well, and when it broke here too, acted as support. So it's really very clean, nothing too crazy. You can also see this is another level here, because we are obviously going to see this again on the 4-hour time frame. If you go to the 4 hours as well, you'll see that the level is already there, so you won't need to bother yourself. What is important is just all these levels we are marking, we are also correlating them with the market structure in terms of how market is moving. If we are in an uptrend or we are in a downtrend, what is the market doing at every point in time? If market is going up, you want to wait for structure levels to either be broken and retested, then buy to the upside. Or if market is going down, you want to wait for market levels to be broken and retested and then sell to the downside. So on the 4-hour time frame, if we just zoom into the current price action here from around April, we can see this is a level as well. So this is a level, right, on the 4-hour time frame as well. This is a level. I'm going to use the line 2 here. This is a level. Now the reason why I use the rectangle here and not here is because this is a true swing high, right? True swing high meaning that this was a range and the market broke below, did a first breakout of the range, and then eventually came to test this major true swing high, right? And then we'll see how market reacted off of that level. Similar thing going on here. Now we've seen that market has broken this level. We can see on the 4 hours there is another level here which market has broken to the upside. There is a possibility of a retest, right, of this level. It might happen, it might not happen. The chances are not, the thing is, you don't really know what the market is going to do. Market will always do the things it wants to do in its own ways. All we just have to do is to do our best to maximize the opportunities that we are able to get. So now this is where market is currently. If we go to the 1-hour time frame, there are some levels, but then the lower you go, the noisier it becomes, right? You begin to see so much noise, and it can get complicated at some point. So what is important is just for you to be able to practice these structure levels over and over again and look to take actions from around those areas, because it's best to actually take your trades. Imagine there are also other confluences that I use with my trading. I don't just use market structure levels, I use a lot of other things to it as well. So pretty much that's it video. I just want to sort of like share with you guys one of the things that are like the major component of my trading strategy. I would never talk about my trading strategy on this channel, because I believe that there is so much trading strategy out there that you can use, that you can learn from, that you can make good advantage of for yourself in the trading space. There is so much information out there. So, and I don't want to be part of those adding to much more noise. So I would rather talk about what is much more important in my own perspective, which is your mindset and your approach to trading in itself. So pretty much that's it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you.